feet. So stand up if you're comfortable. I'm going to do the warm-ups actually sitting in a chair for those who are more comfortable seated. But now, if you can, stand up and then just make contact with the bottom, with your feet, with the floor, with the earth, with the ground, whatever you call it, the yin, the receptive energy coming through us. Notice how many toes are participating in receiving the ground. How many toes do you touch? And then come back onto your heels a little bit and notice what that does with your balance. And then come again forward onto your toes. We also have a yin-yang, or in and out direction. If you shift to the outer side of your foot, that's the yang, and if you shift to the inner side of the foot, it's yin. We can also, in some of our movements, we'll go back and forth. Very important to know that your legs are connected to our torso through our hip joints. Our hip joints are not here. Our hip joints are internally. Bend your knees just slightly and feel. That's where the hinge is. That's where the Chinese call the hua. We call it the hip joint area. It's as wide as your ears. I taught reflexology for many years, foot massage, and it's surprising how few of us really know that that's where our support is. 10 toes, 10 lines of force that support our structure. And now we can go, just feel that, and then soften your knees. Every once in a while we need to be reminded, if you go to the front of your feet, notice what happens with your knees. How many of us have been in a hurry all our lives? So we lock our knees, so come back to your sit. Come back, you don't want to be laid back like Birkenstock wearers, but you want to be right in your center. And then we're going to do warm-ups, and Judy's going to describe that, and I'll pull the chair up and show you warm-ups in the chair.
Okay, so people who are standing, please put your feet together. Again, these can be done standing or in a chair. I encourage you to stand if you can. I want to remind you to follow any medical advice from your practitioner as far as any limitations or adaptations you need to do. Everything we do here today can be modified. So if you can't do something physically, then we will use our mind and our intention to send the energy where we want it to go. So please feel free to sit down at any time. If something hurts, stop doing it or make it smaller, make the movement smaller. Sometimes that can help. But again, we don't want you to experience pain or discomfort. Okay, so Peggy, as you notice, is sitting toward the front of the chair so that she's on her sits bones.
Look what happens when I sit back in a chair. Look what happens to my rib cage and my spine. But if I go to the edge of the chair, notice how much my spine elongates and my head is being supported by the spine and right in the center. My ears and shoulders are lined up. So I will demonstrate what Judy's doing standing, which is normal for the class, but it's fine. You get a lot of energy sitting also.
The first thing we're going to do are called waist rotations. So our feet will be together, legs together, and we're going to put the palms of our hands on the back of our kidneys and support our kidneys. If this is uncomfortable for you, feel free to turn your hands and let your hands rest this way. So hands up, kidneys, feet together, and we're going to make circles. So if we're looking from above, you're going to see us going in a circle. So we'll start going to the front, a little to the right, back, left, and around. If your image is reversed because of the camera, just follow your own rights and lefts. You won't cause any damage if you pick the wrong direction. It's all good. Normally we would do this about 20 times, but in the interest of time, we'll do a little bit less. Make sure your knees are relaxed, ankles are relaxed, head is up, top of the head facing the sky. Then we're going to stop, and now we're going to take our right hand and, oops, I'm sorry. We're going to massage our kidneys first. Did I forget? This is one of my favorite things to do, massaging kidneys up and down. The reason is that it warms me up. So on cold days or just chilled days, this is a great thing to do. Then we're going to go side to side, also massaging our kidneys. Now we're going to put our feet together again, and we're going to go the opposite direction. So whatever you did before, just do a circle in the other way.
It's very good to sit in a chair sometimes because you really understand that you're moving from this empty space between the hips and the ribs. The thumbs are in that space and you're moving around so you don't move your hips too much. You go from one sit bone to the other, one side of your hips to the other.
We're going to stop and we put our right hand over our chest, left hand over the right hand, and we're going to do circles around our chest. This massages our heart and our lungs. Then we're going to put the other hand, the left hand with the right hand on top, and do a circle the other direction. Think internally, see if you feel your lungs. COVID is a lot about the lungs, right? Now we're going to have our feet shoulder width apart, actually hip width apart, as Peggy pointed out. So feet are parallel. And we're going to put our hands right there next to our hips. So fingers kind of in that dip there. And we're going to do hip rotations. So again, we're making a circle as seen from above. Knees are relaxed, ankles are relaxed. This is really good for sciatica. Some people find relief immediately. We're going to stop and massage up and down. And then we're going to massage our lower back. That's always happy for some attention. Going to go the other direction. Try to go back and forward the same distance, side to side, the same distance. Stop, put the right hand over your navel, left hand on top, and this is massaging our lower dantian, which as Peggy characterizes as our garden of life, the power source. Switch hands. It's also good for managing constipation and diarrhea. Always good to know. Don't worry, you can't go the wrong direction on that either. Okay, we're going to bend from the quad. Our quad is where our hip joints at, but it's also where our torso meets our legs. So if you put your hands in here and bend, it means our derriere is going to go out a little bit in order for our back to be straight. Put your hands lightly on the knees, and we'll do knee rotations. Again, circles. And stop and massage our knees in circles. And Peggy wanted to point something out about
We're sitting in a chair when you go around in the circles. Lift your knees. Lift your heels and circle with your heels up and down.
Okay. And we are going the opposite direction now. And stop and massage the knees the other direction. Bend your knees to come up to support your lower back. Next, we'll do arm circles. So we're going to clasp our hands, thumbs are touching. We're going to go down, out, and around. You only need to go up about as high as your head.
Keep your elbows soft when you're doing this. You don't have to straighten them. You can keep them energy garden to the top of the head.
Now we're going to bring our arms all the way up, and again to your comfort level, hoping to get our ears between our arms. And then we're going to stretch our spine, open the front of the rib cage, and lean back just a little bit. Don't put pressure on your lower back. This is really an opening of the rib cage, giving space to your lungs. Now we're going to go to the right, giving more space to our lungs and also all our internal organs. And now to the left.
Don't expect to see your arms, your hands, but your arms are up there.
Okay, That was our warm-ups for today. We are now going to proceed with teaching you the first 7 movements of the first set of Dian Qigong, Wild Goose Qigong. Sounds like a lot, but it's really not too much. There are a few things to know. One is that we are going to be having our feet hip-width apart. We are going to introduce something called our Qigong palm, which is our hand being active but relaxed, so open but relaxed. So you don't want to overextend, but if you overextend and then relax your hand, you'll find your Qigong palm. It's a little bit different than a Tai Chi palm, right? Which is even relaxed in a different way. Another idea is that we're going to remember our good posture. So we're going to remember our feet touching our ground. We're going to remember the top of our head facing the sky. We're going to have a slight Mona Lisa smile on our face with our lips together. That's the most relaxed facial expression we can have. So no forced smiles. Just a nice, relaxed Mona Lisa smile. The tip of our tongue will be on the top of our upper palate, right behind the top teeth. And Peggy might want to talk about the microcosmic orbit and what that is and how that's connected in this manner.
That's what I mentioned before, the top of the head, right between your ears. So here's, we call it the Chinese Bai Hui, but just take your fingers from your ears up, just close to the fontanelle, the baby's point, which is slightly open. And then the middle of your pelvis, where yin is the point, and the ground. So we are between heaven and earth, and energy comes up the back of the spine and down the front. That's what's called the microcosmic orbit. But it's really what we're working with. We're working with our whole body.
So remember those meridians we talked about, how the qi, the life force, flows in meridians? So this connects 2 of our meridians, one in the front and one in the back, and those connect other meridians. So getting a lot of travel for a little bit of movement. So we get comfortable, shake it out if you need to. Slight smile, and Peggy's going to demonstrate. I will turn now and then so you can see what's happening from the back and the side.
A little bit of open space under your armpits. Just think of having maybe a little wall there. Your elbows are soft, your wrists are straight. Tongue behind your upper teeth, and we're going to start bending from the gua. Bend forward. Arms, fingers face downward, go to comfortable. Lift the energy, the qi up. Center yourself with your spine, and then open to receive heaven's qi. Looking up, and you're on the balls of your feet. Heels down, head forward. Land at your energy garden. Come up. Palm to palm at your chest area. Reaching out, looking at your fingers, and then looking forward. Turn, push the energy back with your palms. If you can, lift your heels, gather into the claw, which we'll describe in a minute. Bring that to the kidneys, open, and release. We repeat that. Palm to palm at the chest. Coming forward with the arms. So pushing and setting our wings. Come back, you're headed towards the hips, gathering your fingers, bending at the elbows, thumb and index finger to the kidney area, slide out, and expel the qi. As you close, you drop your arms, come up, your arms shoulder high, then fold in from your elbows, your fingers come to your forehead, and pull the qi, the energy down. Just take a moment to focus on lower dantian and straight down. And when you finish that sequence, then you close.
So the close is actually a movement in itself. It's the 64th movement of this set, which does have 64 pieces to it. So the claw that Peggy is talking about is made by finding that first knuckle on your middle finger and putting your thumb on that knuckle. The other fingers gather around. So that's our first set claw. Yep.
That's the goose's beak.
You can peck your neighbor when the COVID's over.
Or the foot.
Okay, so you ready? Gonna have our feet shoulder width apart or hip width apart actually. Relaxed, slight smile, cheek on palm. Little space under the arm. Tongue touching the upper palate. Find your good posture. We'll start by starting to bend. Hands come down, fingers facing toward the ground. Legs are straight, so only go down as far as you can go down without bending your back or your legs. Coming up, opening the arms like you're holding a great big ball of chi. Come back down, heels are back down. Bringing that big ball of chi and concentrating it into lower dantian. Lifting to middle dantian, middle of our chest. Reaching out, turn the hands back to back, and then like you're gently swimming slowly through some chi, make the claw, bring it to your kidneys, and you're dragging it along. You relax your hands and drag along your waist till you get to the side and flick. Heels come down. Bring the chi back to your chest. Reaching out, turn hands back to back, swimming very gently. Halfway there, you lift your heels, take the claw, bring it to your kidneys, relax the hands, travel along the waist and thick. Heels come down. Drop the hands, lift the chi up, and we're gathering all that good chi, bringing it back to ourselves. To our forehead, settling it down through our whole body, bringing all that energy down to lower dantian. Give a nice deep breath. And then feet together. So let's practice one more time.
You can do it. Yeah.
And Peggy's going to narrate this time.
Again, the tongue connects the spine, front and back, and the energies of the microcosmic orbit. Space in your arms, palms facing your hips, facing your hip joints, and begin bending from the gua, come down, energizing the protective and defensive chi of the outside of the legs, lifting the earth's chi up, centering yourself, and then opening to receive heaven's chi, the yang energy from the heavens, looking up, heels down, head forward, pull the chi into the energy garden. Now raise it to the middle, chest area, lungs and heart particularly, looking, we're pushing and setting our wings, and then push the chi back. When you get to the side, lift your heels if possible, gather into the claw, the thumb to the kidneys, open up and expel chi. Repeat once more, just keep your elbows down, just move your forearms, looking at your fingers, and then soft gaze forward, pushing. When you're at the side, lift your chest, really feel your chest coming up, opening, and expelling. Wrap your arms and close, come shoulder high, and your palms come just to the hairline, middle finger to the hairline, and then it's like closing the curtain. Pause at your energy garden, the lower dantian, slightly, come straight down, back to your side. And then close. And notice how your energy feels now, whether your feet are together or apart. And do you feel any little bit of a livening? So this is a This is the first 8 movements of a 64 movement set, the 7 movements we demonstrated and the close. So this is, as our wonderful teacher, Master Hui Yu said, this can be a complete practice in itself. And I used to do a lot of demonstrations at Kaiser Permanente in Oakland, where I taught for 16 years. And demonstrating this, people in other disciplines, not Qigong students, got a lot of benefit from these movements. So enjoy them, practice them when you have a little 3 minutes of your time, just to get up, stretch from Zooming and doing all the computer stuff. Just stretch and move. Judy now will start with the wonderful slapping Pai Da Gong.
Well, before we get to the slapping, let's take time to kind of reset our nervous system and relax and give our lungs a chance to expand. So the first movement in Pai Da Gong is actually about breathing, and it's about taking 3 deep breaths. So in Pai Da Gong, the way we're going to do that is by bringing the palms of our hands, still our Qigong palm, and bring it back to the area that we started out with when we just did that set. And while we're back here, notice that your chest is expanded. Just by bringing your shoulders back, chest can come out. We're going to take 3 deep breaths, going through the top of the lungs all the way down to the bottom of the lungs. So let your stomach push out in a nice relaxed way, similar to some meditation breathing. When we get to after we get all the breath we can, then we're going to hold for 3 seconds and then bring it back. Breathe back out. Okay, here comes the first one if you're ready. Breathing in. And slow breath out. Number 2, breathe in through the upper lungs all the way to the lower lungs.
Back of the lungs. Really open up your elbows, opens up your ribs.
And slow breath out. Relax shoulders, relax your knees. 3rd breath, nice slow breath in through the nose. And again through the nose, slow breath out. So Peggy feels like closing. Let's all close. It doesn't ever
Anytime
hurt to
today
close.
you can close.
You can close in a chair, you can close while you're standing. Okay, so Peggy's going to demonstrate the slapping while I talk through it. So our slapping Pai Da Gong, we're literally just slapping a bunch of points on our arms and legs and body. So we're going to cover, just like our 7 movements, covered all sides and all meridians. The slapping exercise will cover all sides and all meridians as well. So first thing we want to do is be able to make a cup with our hand, because we're going to percuss with our cup. So the thumb comes to the side of our hand. We have a little curve to our hand. And then our pinky finger is going to tuck in just a little bit along that 4th finger. So you should now have a nice cup. We're going to try to keep our wrist straight. So you can practice clapping. Yay! All right, good job. So you have 2 cups, all the tools you need. So we start with our feet shoulder width apart. You might need them a little bit further for this, if you like.
We're going to do 81 slaps, and we're going to do this 9 times and divide 9 into 3. And each of those 3, more or less, be a little bit flexible, is going to correspond with one of the areas of the body. This pelvis is very important, so we're going to slap that 3 times. But other than that, we'll keep moving.
So this again can be done standing or sitting, whatever you like. And we're gonna basically go down slapping the outside of the legs, then the inside of the legs. And then we're gonna slap the front of the body, then the back of the body coming back up. Then we're gonna slap the inside of the arms, then the outside of the arms on the left side, and then the same thing with the inside and the outside. This to me is a very little output of energy and a lot of return. So the way I end up feeling personally is like I had the best cup of wonderful oolong tea ever, or coffee, without the caffeine side effects. It just feels good, it's very energizing. So we'll go ahead and start and make your cups. Bring your cups to about 1 foot far, and then Peggy's gonna demonstrate while I talk. You do 3 slaps at the top. 1, 2, 3.
And bend from the gua. 4, 5, above the knees. And then look.
7, 8, 9 at the ankles. Then we're going to come to the inside of the ankles and slap.
Inside.
Yes.
1, 2, 3,
4 gets us just below the knee. 5
6,
just above. 6 on
and
the
then
5.
straight. 7, 8, 3 on the torso. Then you're going to go start with the chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, knee. 7, 8, top of the foot. Straighten up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, knee. 7, ankle, foot. You're already down, now we come up the back. 1,
Legs.
2, 3. Back of the knees, 4, 5. Middle of the thigh, straighten up. 7, 2, 3, 8, 2, 3, 9, 2, 3 on the kidneys. Left arm palm up. 1, 2, 3, 4, just on the 6, 7, 8, 9. That's the yin side. The yang side is 1, 2, 3. Elbow. 4, 5. Back of the head. 3 on the head. 7, 8, 9. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Turn over. 1, 2, 3. Elbow. 4, 5. Back of the head, and then head, then back of the neck.
So that was really fast, and you may feel a little confused and like that was a lot. The one thing I'll say is, since our cup is so big, it's not going to hurt if you don't get exact points, and we're not talking exact points today. There is a book of Pai Da Gong by Master Hui Liu that we'll show at the end in case you're interested in learning more, but in the meantime, this time we're going to go a lot slower so you can follow along. So we're going to start with our feet shoulder width apart. Make your cup, and we're going to go much slower. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 at the hip. Then we're going to go part way down the leg. 4, 5, and 6 gets you just above the knee. 7 just below the knee. 8 further down the leg, and 9 is your ankle. Then we're going to go on the inside. We'll go 1 at the ankle, 2 a little bit further up, 3 just below the knee, 4 just above the knee, 5 at the thigh, sorry, another thigh, 6 at the gua where we bent, 7, 8, and then 8 is right on our ribs on the side. Whoops, what did we do? Let's do that again. All right, try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, just below knee, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, if you mess up and you only get to 8, just do it again. It's all good. Okay, now we're going to do the front of the body. So we're going to go really slow again. Sometimes going really slow teaches us that we need to pay attention a little bit more.
Wow.
So 1 on the opposite side, 2 just under the breast, 3 a little further back on the side, then 4
The gua.
at the gua, 5 halfway down the leg, 6 the knee, 7 halfway down that part of the leg, 8 where your foot meets your leg, 9 on your toes or the top of the foot. And stand again. Okay, 1 on the opposite side, 2, 3 a little bit back, 4 at the quad, 5 halfway down the thigh, 6 at the knees, 7, 8 is where the leg meets the foot, and then 9 on top of the foot. And then Peggy's going to turn around to the side. So now we're going to do 1 at the ankle, 2, but we're going up the back of the leg, 3, and then 1 more, and then 5, we get to the back of the knee. 6, halfway up the thigh, 7 where the crease is, where the derriere meets the torso, and we stand. 8, we count to 3 before we move on, and now kidneys. And hold there for 3. Okay, left arm out, and we're going to start at the beginning of the collarbone. So 1, shoulder, oops, I'm sorry, 1, under the arm, 2, shoulder, 3, 4 is halfway down the arm, 5 at the crease, 6, 7 at the wrist, 8 at the palm, and 9 at the fingers. Turn the hand, 1 at the fingers, 2 at the wrist, 3 at the elbow, 4 at the shoulder, a little behind this time. Let the arm come down. Give yourself a pat on the back at that place that always wants a massage. Then the very back, where that C7, where the big bone is. Then out the back of the head, top of the head, and then gently your forehead. All right, other side. 1, whoops. Hold out the arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Turn the hand over. 1, 2, 3, 4. Drop the arm. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And close. And then we'll close.
I think we're already out of time.
Okay, so our next thing that we were going to do is our self-massage. So we do have some PowerPoint slides for you. I'm hoping they will be on the side at some point, and of course, when this is uploaded to the Fountain Project website, you'll be able to see them then as well. We're going to zip through these because we still have our walking movement to do. So our first point is Zusan Li, and Peggy's in the ideal position to be able to show it. So it's, if you go 4 fingers below your knee and slide over to the outside of your shin bone, that's where Zusan Li is. Another way to find it is by putting the top of your thumb, by putting your thumb over the top of your kneecap and letting your middle finger drape down next to the outside of your shin bone. Zusan Li is good for gastrointestinal distress, muscle building, building enzymes, and immunity. It's believed to help with your health in general. Our next point is Lao Gong, and we've been talking about that and using that a lot. It's right there in the middle of your palm. You can find it by following the slide, bending your fingers, and it'll be between the 3rd and 4th fingers. Again, that's that place on your palm. Palace of Toil, good for heart pain, cardiac diseases. It clears heat in the body, also good for hand pain. Ba Xie points, it's that webbing, they're in the webbing between your fingers. So I invite you to go ahead and massage your Ba Xie points just by pulling on them, starting with the one between the thumb and the 1st finger and go, and then over to the left hand, pulling each one. Ba Xie points are notorious for holding qi and letting stagnant qi get stuck there. So by doing this, you're clearing heat. It helps to prevent arthritis and inflammation in the finger joints. Our next point is Kogu. Kogu is in that V between your thumb and your first finger. So if you actually travel along the bone that's going to lead you to your first finger, you might feel a little dip there in that bone. That's a great place to start. People have, and studies have shown that that spot might move around a little bit, just like Lagon might move around a little bit, so experiment for yourself. For any of these points to find what feels good for you, or maybe what's a little painful, meaning that the chi might be a little stuck. So this point is known as the Great Eliminator. Go ahead and massage your left hand if you haven't gone to the left hand already. And it is good for headache and constipation, diarrhea, stress. Nobody has stress during COVID, do we? Nausea, anxiety, toothache. I've had students report that they use this for toothache. It was very effective. Neck pain, shoulder pain, which reminds me, relax your shoulders, relax everything while you're massaging these points. Do not tell somebody who's pregnant to massage this point unless they're ready to deliver, because it has been known to stimulate that lower area there and can actually stimulate birth. Okay, next slide is Neguan and Waiguan. So 3 fingers from the crease of your wrist and slide that first finger right to the middle of your wrist. That's Neguan on the inside. Opens up all our yin meridians, good for nausea, vomiting, anxiety, nervousness, especially if you're trying to sleep and your brain is talking too much. This is a great point to massage. And while you're doing that with your thumb, reach around to the other side with your finger, middle finger perhaps. That's Waiguan. Opens up all our yang meridians. Good for fever, known to be associated with COVID, right? Inflammation, wrist pain, and heat. And we know inflammation is the enemy, and we want to reduce inflammation to keep our health and immunity. So try your left side if you haven't moved over there already. People who travel a lot and maybe on boats know that they make those bracelets that have the little nib that is right there in the middle where Neguan is to help with the nausea. All right. So
If you're ready to go into a meeting or something, and just in a stressful situation, you don't have to show anybody, but you can massage.
Yep, you can do it under the table. So Peggy's going to talk about a special hug.
Yeah, there's just ways of hugging ourselves, and very important points are elbow points,
Next slide.
and so just fold your arms, put your thumbs in the crease of your elbow, and wrap your fingers a little bit on the outside, and just give yourself a couple, just squeeze and give yourself a couple hugs. I know we're missing that dreadfully, and it's not quite the same as exchanging the chi with somebody else, but at least we can take care of ourselves. So this is a very good energy if you look and see what for cough, asthma, sore throat, and it says calms rebellious uprising on the chi. Anyway, very good point to massage.
Chi doing
And the last point, heart 1 is right in the arm, in the middle of the armpit.
We're going to save that one for last.
Oh, okay, well, how much more do you think?
So the last one that we're going to talk about is Chihu, which is on the stomach meridian. And pay attention to your body when you have a cough, when you have some congestion, even nasal congestion. Think about what you might have eaten and how late you ate compared to how soon you lay down after that. And you'll find that there might be something to the stomach being associated with our lungs, just as Chinese medicine postulates, right? So this underneath the middle of our clavicle. So if you start from the middle of the beginning of the clavicle close to your neck and measure out to the shoulder where it ends and find the halfway point. Should be along the nipple line, or maybe for some people under their ears, and find a nice dip in there. You can try raising your arms, opening your arms, closing your arms to see if it's more accessible. in different positions, but this is excellent for asthma and cough. I'm sorry, it's under. So Trypan, we're doing 2 for 1. Trypan is not on the slide, but Trypan is on top, and Chihu is on the bottom of that clavicle, right in a row. Okay, so the last thing, do we have time for waving hands like clouds? Okay. We can demonstrate waving hands like clouds, but first we're going to draw your attention to the Pai Da Gong textbook. So this is the slapping massages, breathing, and there are other movements that you learn in this. Jean Courtney actually gives classes at Wenwu School on this. So really excellent job. So next, and if you're interested in learning more about the first set, Diane Qigong, Wild Goose Qigong, then this book is also available. There's also a DVD for those of you who still have a DVD player.
We're gonna do this.
So, you think we have time for a quick waving hands like clouds?
It's 10:15.
Okay, so I think if we can just demonstrate once, play along with us really quickly. We won't be able to do this in depth, but this is the walking movement for the times you do get outside. I promise you, your neighbors won't laugh, or maybe they will. They'll be curious at least as to what you're doing. But this is another one that opens up all our meridians and gives our lungs a chance to breathe. So we start with our hands next to our waist, feet are shoulder width apart. And we're going to lift our left heel and turn on the ball of our foot so our heel comes in. We will find your balance on that left foot, take a step, and let your hand come forward with your foot. Then you look at your hand, almost like you're holding something very important, perhaps your chi. When you get to as far back as you can, turn your hand, turn your head back to the front, and bring your hand to your kidney. Now you're going to turn on the right foot, on the ball of the right foot.
Bend the knee, shift the weight.
Put the left hand straight out. Look at your hand as it comes all the way around to the back. Let it turn. Bring your hand to your kidney. Your front heel is up. Turn your foot. Bring the heel in. Shift your weight. Pull your hand out. And let the fingers lead as you take your step. Looking at that wonderful chi in your hand. Turn your hand again. Bring it to the kidneys. You can do this as many times as you want. It helps with your balance. It opens up all the meridians. There are meridians that go around our waist and on the outsides of our body that tie in the rest of the meridians. So we'll stop here and make sure you close. Anytime we practice chi,
Step up.
put our feet shoulder width apart, bring the chi to our forehead. All 3 energy centers. Middle, lower, stop at lower dantian. Let the energy rest there. Continue straight down, around, feet together. We have one final hug for you, which Peggy wanted to show earlier. I miss hugs a lot. And so I get to hug my immediate family members and my cat, but it's just not the same, not being able to hug people that I haven't seen for a while. So here's our hug to you and your hug to yourself. Bring all that chi. Put your hands under your armpits, meeting the heart in one point, and give yourself a big hug.
And thumbs are pointing to your lung points. And just notice your rib cage. Breathe into your ribs. Lift your body, lift your rib cage, and exhale. And notice your ribs moving down. And then the final, gathering into your energy garden, put your right hand, slide your thumb, left thumb to meet your right Lao Gong palm and your right thumb on left Pegu. And just hold yourself. Just connect with your breath at the energy garden center, lower dantian. And we know that the new normal now is respecting closing as they do in India, in other parts of Asia. We sometimes bring our feet together and then we bow. Bow to the heavens, bow to the earth, particularly bow to our lineage of teachers, arms down. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. It's been wonderful practicing with you.
We have a question. How long to massage the Hergu point?
You can massage it as much or as little as you like. We don't want you to cause any bruising, of course, but you know, it's very individual. So any of these points you can massage a lot, a little, you can massage hard, you can massage soft, and Peggy's finger wants to say something.
Yes, this particular point is not a pencil, it's an area of the body. So find the most tender spot and then giving it some loving attention. As much, as Judy said, as much and as little as you need to. Either side. I know tension headaches can be really relieved with this. Okay, any other questions? Hope that satisfies that answer.
I mean, you talk like about all the Pai Da Gong and the warm up and the massage. Should we do them all at the same time, or can we just select what's being taught or what we remember? Is it a whole thing that we have to do together? Can you talk a little bit about that?
You want us to answer? Yes. So basically you can do bits and pieces or the whole thing. If you're like me and you're on the slow train when it comes to remembering new physical activity, then just do what you remember. Anything that you do is good. Any movement that you do is good, especially right now when we're more restricted. So if you're outside walking and you feel a little silly and you want to try this and you're like, oh, I don't remember it, it was something like this, I remember my arms out. We're waving hands like clouds. Think of the clouds. Do that. If you just remember a few slaps and you're like, I don't know, there were 9 of them, but I don't know, the order doesn't matter. It's all good, all good.
I wanted to say something also. When I was doing a demonstration one time, a student said, you didn't say this was aerobic. And I had to laugh. I said, for some of us, it is an aerobic exercise, and we've been couch potatoes or not moving very much. It could be an aerobic practice, opening up the chest. For other people, it's smoothing the energy, and it's not necessarily viewed as being aerobic. Slow Qigong is one thing, quicker Qigong is another. Same thing with Pai Da Gong. You use the time you have to practice when you can.
So we're actually helping the outsides of our bodies, but also our internal energies.
Outside is the protective and defensive qi. Inside connects with the organs, the internal organs. Very complete system. I'd like to say one other thing. Yesterday was World Tai Chi Qigong Day, and one of the comments one of our teachers here said that she was doing the practice and she was a little rusty when she was following second set, but she got so much energy from just doing what she could do and following what she can do. So if you even got the DVD of Master Huiyu doing the practice, just watched it sitting down, you'll notice your energy changing. It's like a moving meditation. So you can get a lot of benefit however you approach your Qigong. There are hundreds of different kind of Qigong practices. This is very complete because we follow the principles of the Bagua, I Ching, and everything, 64 movements. So, any other questions?
Oh, I had it. I just typed. Where are our eyes looking and what are my mind?
Oh, for during Pai Da Gong, where are my eyes looking and what is my mind thinking?
Yes.
So, you can be thinking about, so if you get really more in depth with Pai Da Gong, you're going to learn that there are specific points that you are percussing, that you're slapping. And so you'll be thinking really though, just about moving the chi and opening any stagnation, because you're stimulating these points, so you're stimulating the meridians. For our Qigong, it's perfectly fine to just be focused on what you are doing rather than trying to make something happen inside your body. So I would start with that. Eyes can be looking forward when you're standing at the level of the horizon, seeing nothing in particular, and you'll notice that really opens up your eyes and allows you to accept Qi in the environment, and opens up your peripheral vision as well. And then as you go down, your eyes are naturally going to follow wherever your body is going. When you are doing the arms, you are looking at the arms and the hand, so that's one difference. Until you finish and you're doing the back of the head, then your eyes are back at the level of the horizon.
Calm your eyes a little bit. Takes like 3 deep breaths, and then you open your eyes. You'll notice, instead of reaching out with your eyes, you may notice that the energy can in because you've softened your eyes. Locke is demonstrating. It's just a wonderful, simple practice for strengthening the eyes, helping the liver, helping your tendons, your ligaments. Very good practice. And then we move the Qi in our faces through the eyes.